CrossFit Games 2025 Event 8 breakdown. This is the first workout on day 3. It is called Going Dark. It is full time, 50 and 40 calories on the Echo Bike, 100-foot yoke carry, 30 deficit parallel handstand push-ups, 100-foot yoke carry, and then 50 and 40 calories on the bike to finish. The workout, initial views, so it kind of presents itself. It is a engine based with some high demands. So the Echo Bike is going to be it should be the longest component of the workout, the total time to do all of those calories. But for some, it may not be, whether it depends on the ability of the handstand push-up. And it really depends on how heavy that load is on the yoke and how well those athletes have shown up to day 3 with their posterior chain still intact. Remember, you've done a 1 rep max back squat. Remember, you've done over 10 kilometers of race pace running, 3 kilometers of rowing. You've got all these things contributed, and you have 60 odd heavy deadlifts as well. So that yoke can feel exponentially heavy in this time, which will require midline, central nervous system under kind of maximal fatigue, and hopefully we can kind of get through that total distances maybe in 3 bites or less if it's kind of 10 meters a carry. Once it's up, I just want to keep walking, really. Once I get that first brace, lock it in, find my position, don't get my knees quite to extension, make sure that I've set my rack heights up accordingly, and the plates aren't too high off the ground but not so low to the ground that if I miss hits and dives and touches the ground. All of those things in consideration. And then the degree of difficulty for the handstand push-ups. Now, for some, just that deficit, they might not have that top-end strict power to kind of press through the whole way through. So we might see some athletes get stuck there and not quite get out of them. Although you can keep, it is going to be a workout that if you have them, you are definitely rewarded for your ability to have created these into your life. And if you don't, it's going to be a long time spent there. And it potentially might be the place where some athletes don't progress further from that. The workouts demands, the physiological demands, it changes. You go from that aerobic system, that sustained effort, on the bike. Well, that's still the full workout. I do think that the first bike is more anaerobic because it's going to be 3 minutes or less for these athletes, and more glycolytic and alactic because you need to produce so much power in the movements that are in this workout. Being the yoke walk, you need to have great stability, trunk tension, and strength, general strength, just to be able to lift and maintain the structure of your body to hold the load as you walk. But the power output that it requires to get it up there and maintain that is more alactic. And then obviously the handstand push-ups, just the bursts, you're not going to stay up there for 30 reps. So just the muscle replenishment from rep to rep after those quick bursts is going to be very, very important as well. And then the bike, once more, because it's not quite over 3 minutes per usage, it's going to be more in the anaerobic system, but the general scheme of the workout is more aerobic based in terms of timeline. The limitations of this workout: your posterior chain, your delt, triceps, your spinal erectors, definitely your back, all of those things. And the first bike, so this is kind of our flow or strategy for the workout. My first bike, hard effort but not full sprint, and I'm trying to focus more on the legs than shoulders. I'm not really worried about my position of getting off the bike because I know that I need to have that energy stored for elsewhere. If I'm someone who's very proficient in that inverted movement sector, then I can go a little bit harder again on the bike, and that's what's going to dictate it. My first yoke, my first yoke is where I'm going to pretty much determine my last yoke, how difficult does this feel? How heavy is this to get up? But once I'm up, I'm trying to go as far as I can with every go, because I just want to lock in and just make it good. I don't want to have to pick it up more than once. Well, sorry, not more than once, but more than I need to. Obviously, this is the yoke the first time you'll probably be touching it since out the back, so I need to know what this piece of equipment feels like on itself. My handstand push-ups, now this is the key place here. This is a song from Jake. Kiki, do you love me? The handstand push-ups. Big kip. At all times, I want to use as much leg drive as I can. I want to constantly press through the barbell. Oh, the barbell. Sorry, I'm thinking of it like a push press. The constant press to the top of the position. I want to make sure that I get my timing correct on the kip. I'm probably going to load knees all the way down to chest rather than heels stay against the wall, that flat line, and it's a short, sharp kick. I'm going to bring down that global flexion so I can create global or produce global power to get back to the top. Now, I say the timing because I don't want to get all the way down and then kick my feet short and press on the short and it pushes me off the wall. I want to get the timing right so I get that force going straight back, and that's even more crucial on the parallel handstand push-ups. I don't want to get to fatigue. I only want to be risking a rep that if I'm down to singles or it's my last rep to get out of the set or onto the next apparatus being the yoke. So other than that, I'm looking at like 1 rep in reserve. I'm going up and I'm doing as many reps as I know I still have 1 more to follow. That's when I'm coming down. And that's just by feel. Yeah, I might have a predetermined, I'll try for 5, but I'm going to assess on the fly as well. It might be less, it might be 3, it might be 4, it might be 7. But that's the mentality that I go in with. The yoke, second yoke, again, it's just how you read it from the first one. It's go as hard as you can. Just make sure that you set up your bracing system. And then the final bike is go time, the mental grip for that last bike. Go time doesn't mean get on it and sprint immediately. There might be those big boys might do it. But I'm more so trying to like build in pace. I'm going to do that first 10. Maybe I allow myself the recovery buy-in. And that first 10 recovery buy-in might be like initial spike on the bike, get the fan moving, get the computer up, and then taper off, 10 cows buy-in, another 10 slight build, but nothing serious, and then either that 30 to 20 to go marker, it's just lights out. I would rather go, say 30 cows out, go hard, only make 25 and have 5 left, and almost fall off the pace. I would way rather that situation than leaving it for last 15 or 20 cows, getting past the line and being like, I feel like I could have either went faster or held another 5 seconds longer or 10 seconds longer. That means I didn't quite get it right. And when it's that last portion of the bike, somehow you just find a way to hold on, or you might die off and be like, oh, it's done with 5 to go. And then you start sulking, I'm tired, you only have 4 to go, then you get another kick and boost again, so you can get it almost back up to where it was. So that's definitely how I want to finish. The limiting factors of this is, for me, obviously the deficit handstand push-up blowout and just the maintenance on that. But the barrier to entry for some might be just the ability to lift the yoke. If you can't lift it, you can't play. So that needs to be considered as well. I hope that we get to see a suffer test at the end of the bike. The suffer test for me means that you've just got 2 to 4 people that are just having to launch that bike, and maybe it's the one that came from behind that gets in front and wins, because that is going to be a hectic race to the finish line with bodies dropping on the floor. You would have that same thing with it was just a 100 cal bike and there was no other movements. You're going to have that same body on the floor, but just that added fatigue factor, central nervous system depletion, the whole body, getting a chance to relax and absorb all of that damage. Man, that's going to be crazy. Mindset, my cues, posture under load, because that's going to give me the speed on the yoke. No wasted handstand push-ups, and just getting my timing right and producing power every single time. I'm thinking, when I'm working, I'm freaking working. When I'm resting, it's all good. I can just composure, settle down. It's almost like trying to be fire and ice in the same token. When I work. Don't half-ass it. If I half-ass a handstand, I might not get it. I need to be sharp. And then when I'm not on the wall or upside down, that cool, calm, collected composure, breath, brace, or chalk up, or whatever it is that I need. Recalculate, listen to my crowd, pull on my wires, and then when you get to that last bike, that 20, 30 calories, it is just whatever gets you out of bed in the morning. Those reasons, that's what needs to come to the forefront. And enjoy pull on those experiences. So yeah, that's the workout. Do I have time frames of finishes here? I think that for the first bike, it's not going to be uncommon to see someone get off at 2 minutes, but more so 2.5, less than 3 minutes for that first bike. The yoke, it just depends on strength. So if someone gets stuck in the mud or not, but I would like to think maybe about a minute. There will be some faster than a minute, but I think the averages will be just on a minute or more. And then the handstand push-ups, there's such a degree of difficulty here. Is it the ability to go 10 on the EMOM for 3 minutes? Is it the ability to do 6 on the EMOM for 5? The discrepancy, there's 2 minutes right there. So it could be vast. I can't really put a prediction on that one. But maybe our total time for our top athletes about 6:30 to 7 minutes. Maybe 7.5 minutes to 8 even. Top 10, 8.5, 9 minutes, and then mid-pack maybe around that 9-minute marker, and a little bit less than that for the females, just due to the power output and demands on the bike. But I'm looking forward to seeing that one for sure. I think that this is well written. The people that I think that would do successful, again from the names that I know, would be the likes of Tia Toomey, Alexis Raptis, Grace Walton, strong, powerful people with the skill, enough skill to get through. I think that the skill is going to be more needed for the female side of things. I think Fisa Guffey, Maddie Sturt, Lucy Campbell, Ariel Lowen, I love for this workout. Claudia Gluck gets a mention again. Amy Kringle, Hayley Adams for sure. I don't know if I've not said her name yet. On the men's side, Justin Medeiros, like him again for this. Roman Krenikov, I like. Dallin Pepper, I like Jason Hopper. I like the big boys with power output, the sustainability power output, who can get through those skill movements due to explosive power. I do like Jeffrey Adler, your typical names. Yeah, so that's event number 8, I believe, and can't wait to see who's still there fighting, what damage has been taken upon their bodies, and how it unfolds.